It started with a silence no one cared to understand. People rushed past her, phones in hand, eyes glued to screens, voices sharp and impatient. The old woman stood near the boarding gate, her trembling hands clutching a ticket and a faded handbag. Her lips moved soundlessly, but no one stopped to listen. Her eyes searched for kindness in a sea of indifference, and found none until a little boy tugged his father's sleeve. "Dad, why's that grandma crying?" That father, Daniel, was a single dad traveling with his 8-year-old son, Liam. He looked over and saw her, frail, frightened, lost. Something about her stillness struck him. Daniel noticed the way she tried to ask for help but received nothing but cold stares. That's when he saw her hands, moving in small, broken gestures. She was deaf, and suddenly, Daniel's heart clenched. His late wife, Emily, had been deaf too. He hadn't signed in years, but in that moment, every memory, every motion came back like second nature. He walked over, knelt beside her, and gently signed, "Are you okay? Can I help you?" Her eyes widened in disbelief, and then filled with tears. Finally, someone spoke her language. She signed back shakily, telling him she'd missed her connecting flight, that no one would listen to her attempts to explain. Her phone had died, her charger gone missing, and she couldn't reach her son, her only family. Daniel signed softly, "Don't worry, I'll help you." He guided her to the help desk, explained everything to the staff, arranged her new flight, even bought her a meal. Liam handed her his juice box with a shy smile, saying, "Grandma, this is for you." The woman couldn't hear the words, but she felt the warmth. Hours passed, and before she boarded her flight, she wrote something on a napkin and pressed it into Daniel's hand. It read, "Thank you. My son never told me the world could still be kind." She hugged him tightly before leaving. Daniel thought that was the end of it. He was wrong. A week later, Daniel was called to a meeting at the company where he worked as a delivery supervisor. The staff buzzed with tension. Apparently, the company's reclusive CEO was making a surprise visit. The elevator opened, and out stepped a tall, composed man in a tailored suit. But Daniel froze. Behind him was her. The same woman from the airport, smiling proudly beside her son. The CEO's face softened as he saw Daniel. "Mom told me everything," he said quietly. "You were the only person who saw her, not as a burden, not as a problem, but as a person." Daniel stammered, "I just did what anyone should have done." The CEO shook his head. "No. No one else did. You reminded me of something I'd forgotten, what it means to lead with heart." He extended his hand. "I want you on my executive team. From today, you're not just a supervisor. You're my new operations manager." Daniel stood speechless. Liam, standing beside him, beamed. The CEO turned to the boy. "Your dad made my mother smile again. You must be proud." The old woman reached out, took Daniel's hand in hers, and signed with tears glistening in her eyes, "You gave me back my voice." And in that moment, surrounded by people who finally noticed her, the silence at the airport no longer felt lonely, it felt powerful. Because one act of kindness had spoken louder than words ever could. End message. Sometimes, all it takes is one person who listens differently to remind the world that compassion has no language. Be that person.